Hi, water signs. I'm here with your August 2019 general outlook. Before we get started, I, I'm really not sure what to say, but many of you, I mean, all across the country, I know a lot of you are local that watch my videos. I'm sure you've heard about the horrific acts that took place in the Oregon District last night. It's a place that anybody who's lived in this area or been to this area, you've been there. I just took some coworkers to dinner there a couple of months ago. My friends and I were out in the late hours in the spring in March and April. I was waiting for an Uber probably around 1 in the morning, right outside the area where all that happened. So the violence in our country is getting more and more extreme, and you can try to bury your head in the sand and ignore it. But then when it hits literally right up the street, it's kind of incomprehensible. So I'm still in shock about it. I wasn't sure whether I should say something, but then I thought, how can I not say something and just pretend like everything's okay and do my normal video? The thing I wanted to mention is that I'm wearing this amazing necklace. I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Moonglow. And I actually got it yesterday. I was at a festival, local festival, and Clash Boutique, they operate their business in the Oregon District. They were there and they just had all kinds of cool stuff. And this actually, it ties to, they have all different kinds, even if it was an eclipse or whatever, but they look up the day you were born and the year you were born, and then exactly what the moon phase was at that time, that the day that you were born. And so then it actually, once it charges in the light, it will glow in the dark. And so it's really cool to see that. And I just thought it was ironic that, yesterday afternoon, I was shopping a business at the Oregon District thinking I need to get down there more. I don't get down there enough. And, kind of my biggest worry was the heat and getting out of the heat and that type of stuff. And then to wake up and hear what happened, I guess I wanted to mention this necklace because it's the first time I'm wearing it. And I want to encourage everybody to not let fear win and to not go out to places. You have to try, it's easier said than done, but to go out and continue to live your life and don't let the darkness win. Just continue to shine your light, continue to send love to everyone, because it's all about balance, and things are definitely out of balance in this world right now. So that's the only advice I can give you. And of course, no surprise that I had a bunch of crystals that wanted to be out. This black tourmaline, it keeps showing up everywhere. Like I think I move it somewhere and then it shows up. I'm like, okay, apparently you're wanting to be around. Apache tears, these are great for absorbing grief. And mahogany obsidian is very good at blocking negativity. So if you're struggling with the darkness right now, I would highly recommend getting one or more of these crystals. Kokopelli gift shop up by Little York Road, if you're in Dayton, is a great resource. So with that being said, water signs, I do have some exciting news for you. A little bit of lighthearted news here. I have a new deck that was delivered today, fresh today off of the Amazon truck, and I'm excited to break it out for you guys. Now, it is called the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. So so you can see it's Tori Hartman, and it's a traditional tarot deck. I haven't even looked through it, honestly. I just kind of blessed it, shuffled the deck up a little bit, but it's got the traditional major and minor arcana as far as I can tell, but each one is color coordinated to an associated chakra. So like I said, I haven't looked through the booklet. I haven't even looked at the images. I was called to use this deck just because it's really beautiful. I love the back of it, how it's got this light bursting through. Now, whether or not I actually get into the chakra piece of it, we'll see. I may just do the traditional messages, but if I see a lot of green, for example, that's heart chakra, that's going to show me that, whoever these messages are intended for may need to do some heart chakra clearing, and then we can look into that. So we're just going to see what comes out. Like I said, I've not used these before, but we're going to go for it. And again, as you guys know, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, toss the rest. Sorry, guys. Master, please use me as a clear channel for water signs for August. August. What messages do you have for water signs? August 2019. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see what we've got going on here. It's a rainbow of colors. So, all right. Pull a clarifier on this last card here. Picking up on some conflict here. Like there may be a situation where you or the person you're dealing with just aren't on the same page. I feel like timing wise, like there's a timing issue. There's been some insecurities in the past, some insecurities and kind of feeling like you're at the end of your rope. I think of dealing with somebody who you're either dealing with them or the person that you're dealing with was feeling this way. I guess, however, whichever way it resonates, but just kind of like, all right, there's been enough of a burden, Nine of Wands. I'm ready to move forward in this situation, but there's just not any movement. There's not any movement. It's like this slow, you've got the Knight of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles, this slow progress, where somebody's not expressing their truth. They're not either expressing their feelings or, because the blocking energy is the Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Fire, the Page of Wands. There's just not been an expression from the heart chakra. See, this is a heart chakra card, the green. There's not been an opening of that. And so you or the person you're dealing with are wanting this Ten of Cups. You're wanting this completion, this happy ending, and you're wanting there to be this stability, right? For this to happen, there needs to be an awakening, because we've got, let me make sure here. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing with these cards. Like I said, I didn't really look at them too quickly or too much before I opened or went through it, but I think this is associated with the third eye. Either way, it's third eye or crown, which is going to be tied to connecting to higher source. But I believe this purple color, the darker purple, is the third eye. So this person has not stepped into their power and become a king, right? They've not gotten that stability. They've not opened their third eye. They've not, that you or the person you're dealing with hasn't awakened. And you're wanting that to happen. And the irony is, look at what's on top of this. On top of this king is Leo, is Lions, Leo season, right? I mean, how cool is that? because you guys know I've been talking about that for a while. So this energy very much is here that, right, the current energy is Ten of Cups, and like this is happening. So what I'm getting is there is going to be something pretty swift that happens, because you've got the Eight of Wands as the energy moving forward for this month. So this very well could be a shift, like I'm getting kind of a fast shift, a change, that moves this person, right? The Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the Tarot. Again, blocked, they're not coming forward, they're slow, and they're not speaking from their heart. But whatever the shift is, and it's funny that the Eight of Wands, the eight is, we're in the 8th month, we're coming up on the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. We're going to just see how it works, work-wise and energy-wise with me this week. But I do want to, my plan is to try to record a soul connections and separation video for the Lionsgate portal for that energy. But if this is resonating, you might want to watch out for that. But I'm just seeing that there's kind of a stagnancy, but something's going to shift really quickly, because then what comes forward is this Knight of Wands. That's a fast-moving knight, right? That's a fast-moving knight. The problem is, the only problem about it, and it's blue, well, that's not a problem. The blue is somebody who's speaking their truth, and maybe saying that, hey, they want this Ten of Coins, this Ten of Pentacles. They want something tangible and solid. They see you as their queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. You're stable, you're secure, you have your stuff together. The problem is, okay, this is making sense now. Okay. It took me a minute. I was like, this, okay, yeah. The problem is, okay, what needs to happen is they need to be a king. They need to be a king to match their queen, right? They need to be this match. This is what if you're watching this, or they know that this needs to happen. There needs to be an awakening. They need to step into their king, into their power, to join their counterpart. What I see happening is there's going to be a swift, some surge of something that's going to happen this month in August. But the problem is the outcome is the Nine of Swords, which we know is not a good card. It's not a pretty card, unfortunately. I think the reason being is they come forward, they come in swift, quickly, maybe say some things they've not said before, speak their truth somewhat passionately, come in, and it's kind of a surprise. The problem is knights are transitory, knights don't stay, knights are not stable, they're not kings. So I'm thinking there could be a situation where if you're in a romantic situation, you're waiting on somebody to come back, or somebody new comes in, and it seems like a really good solid thing, there could be a little bit of a kind of a heartbreak because that person isn't quite ready for, they haven't quite awakened fully. They're not quite in their king energy. The clarifier that I pulled on the Nine of Swords is the Five of Wands, which is about conflict. So I think that, that's obviously not a great card. It's not as bad as Five of Swords, but it's more that maybe there's still some, look at these, the guys in this card, they have their guard up, right? Still sort of, they're kind of there's this conflict, maybe some things that still need to happen before this comes out. The thing is, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love. On the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups, which also, obviously can represent you water signs, that energy, but I think it just represents that there is love here. And I see there's love on both sides. It's just there might be some disappointment if this person comes in swiftly, things kind of shift a little bit, but then it's like they're a knight, they're not a king yet. But what I'm seeing is there is still things in progress. You've got the Eight of Coins and the Nine of Coins. Oh, this is oh, you guys, this is amazing. All right, so see, it's getting better. It's getting better. I was like, this isn't gonna. This is for August, but I think it's. What I'm getting is there's progress happening, even though there could be disappointment where you feel like, oh my God, I thought we were there. I thought this was the end. I thought this was really going to happen, and they're not quite ready. Just know that they are working on themselves, because you've got the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. These are just beautiful cards. For me, the Eight of Pentacles has always kind of represented the awakening. And again, it's another 8. We've got another 8 with these lions and this king card. So they are working on themselves. 9, is about solitude, self-work, looking at themselves in the mirror. I mean, look how beautiful this image is. Looking and saying, all right, these are the things I need to work on for myself to get to this point. So I think there is progress happening, because look what comes out after that. King of Cups. So you do have the two counterparts in this. It looks like I think this indigo color, I think, is the crown chakra. So she's like in the ascended state with this white light, offering her cup, and he's finally stepping into his power and awakening in the purple, in the third eye chakra. So that's really beautiful. I think that's what I'm seeing, but I want to pull some clarifiers. I'm really just, I'm getting this as more, let me look at this, more of a romantic situation, because you've got the passionate knight, you've got the Ten of Cups as the foundation of the reading. So I'm really not seeing this applying to other situations, but it's certainly, you could extrapolate and say if there's some sort of a news you're hoping to hear, about somebody maybe changing their lifestyle, somebody, I mean, it could be a job offer, some news you're wanting to hear. I think you may be getting the news. It may be not the news you're wanting to hear, but just trust that there are things going on behind the scenes, especially if you continue to work on yourself and your own progress, then things are going to get in alignment, right? Even if this is not the romantic thing, you've got the king, the king and the queen in balance. So I see things balancing out for you water signs. But why don't we pull some, let's pull some clarifiers, since this is clearly, I haven't used this in a while. We're going to use the romance angels. We're going to get some advice for this situation. We're just going to see what advice do the romance angels have for water signs in this situation. Oh, yeah. So trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. I mean, how beautiful is that, right? What is that? What did I just say? That it might not be the outcome that you're wanting right here, right now, but there are things going on behind the scenes with the eight of coins, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Coins, and it eventually does lead to this alignment and this balance, and you've got to trust the process. And I know it's hard. I've been on this journey. Not really anymore in this same scenario, if this is kind of a divine counterpart journey, but you just have to keep trust and know that, if this person comes back and they are expressing things, especially if they're offering, saying that they do want something physically with you, real solid. They're saying you are the person that I could see myself spending the rest of my life with, but it's just, I'm not ready yet. Or they either say that, or then their behavior evidences like they pull back, but they are progressing. That's the thing. If you're on this path, you want to see some sort of progress over time, even if it's baby steps, right? Some sort of progress. But I think, you've just got to trust, and there also could be some codependency that is still a shadow or something that you need to work on. That might be why it's not time. And you might want to just look at your own energy, or addictions. I mean, some of you might be dealing with addictions, or someone with addictions that needs to get help. But for me, I think it could just be more of the and I know how hard this is, but to just latch on to this outcome, this attachment to the outcome, and be dependent on that. And when you're dependent on that outcome, when that person pulls away, this is how you feel, right? And so I think you need to get to a point where, easier said than done, I know, I've been there. But when this person, if they pull away or they're not ready, you're still just in this, high vibrational Queen of Cups energy, that it doesn't really phase you, right? You're not attached to that person, and you can live your own life and be happy, have your Nine of Pentacles, work on yourself. And, when you get to a point where you're not feeling this energy anymore, it's going to attract something more permanent, I think. And over time you're going to grow and ascend so much you get to this point where you're in alignment, right? That's what I keep saying was you got Queen of Cups, King of Cups as the eventual outcome, but right now the physical in the physical world, these two are out of alignment slightly still, because this is the desired thing, and I think some of it is, if you're dealing with an unawakened masculine, that certainly could be part of it. And again, I definitely see some progress and movement forward in Leo season in that regard, because you got the Lions here, we've got eights. This is the action card forward, the Eight of Wands. It's just I see this person maybe coming back, getting your hopes up, and then pulling away again. But I don't think it's going to be long term. I don't think it's going to be as long of a separation as it was. Some of you, you may have new love coming in. This may be more about us closing out a situation that was just too burdensome with the Nine of Wands, or that person has communicated to you that they can't do this anymore. So it could be one of those instances, and that's why you're feeling like, okay, I've blown this. You're feeling in this Nine of Swords energy, but just know that if that cycle closes out, that something new is coming in for you. The problem is, you've got to love yourself first. You've got to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love anyone else. And if somebody walks away from you who wanted to spend the rest of their life with you and you weren't letting them in, because you don't love yourself, it's like you've got to take a hard look in the mirror and say, is this the way I want to spend the rest of my life? Constantly having these repetitive cycles and failed relationships. You have to love yourself and know it's safe for you to love. You have to trust, right? Trust was in here too, but that takes a lot of work. So I think this is a time for many who are on this path. I see a beautiful outcome. It's just there could be a little bit of a trigger, a little bit of a disappointment this month, and hoping something's just going to come to fruition. But I think there is going to be a lot of change, and it's going to be positive change forward. I think for some of you, you've got to take a deep look at yourself and think, what is it? You might need therapy. You might need professional help, especially if you're turning to external sources, addictions, things like that, and you're not able to emotionally attach to someone. You might need to get professional help, beyond medicating, self-medicating, those types of things. It's time. There's sort of this awakening happening where, do you really want to spend the rest of your life alone and unable to love? And it's like when I can attest to this, when you love yourself, your whole world changes. Your whole world changes. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, and then you start attracting the things that are high vibrational. Let's see. I'm going to pull the Twin Flame Shadows, because it seems there are, that is a theme coming out as far as codependency, loving yourself, those types of things. So let's see what shadows might need to be worked on. Yeah. Yep, that's definitely one. Oh, okay. You that want to come out. Okay, so guarded, as I was just saying, if you don't love yourself, and you've had this person who's just been trying and trying and trying and carrying the burden, the Nine of Wands, if you're guarded, or you may be dealing with somebody who has been guarded, they're guarded because they maybe have had, look at this. I mean, this is like a woman dragging her children on the ground, and she's like stone and cold. I mean, it's like they're haunted by their childhood, haunted by past heartbreak. They just they've got their guard up, right? They've got their guard up and aren't completely ready to let somebody in. So that could be a situation you're dealing with as well. And if this is resonating with you, if you're the person who's guarded, again, as painful as it is, you've got to go within and face these wounds. You've got to face these wounds, or they're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And I don't know about you, but knowing for sure that there's a possibility of escaping this, of going up and getting out of this darkness and finding light. I mean, this butterfly is on the shadows. It's like there's a possibility here to change your life. You just have to make the decision to do it. And I know it sounds easy, and it's not easy. But it has to start with a desire of wanting that and letting go of that, the codependency of addictions and those types of things. And sometimes it can be a spiritual counselor. It could be mental health counselor. I think it's called EMDR, but there's a special kind of therapy that is very in depth, and it's very much known for helping people who've had childhood trauma face it and release it. And it's really one of the only ways you can do it. Sometimes the trauma is so bad that, holding on to Apache tears, it's not gonna get that out. Grief is one thing, breakups are one thing, but to deal with that, the trauma that's inflicted on a child, that takes special help. So I'm just getting clearly, don't be afraid to ask for help. Let me see here. Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. I'm getting called to pull from there. Let's see what comes out. For water signs, what do you have? Okay, so web, cosmic plan. So that's ironic because I've been having spiders. I had one in my apartment, and I think I told you guys in another video, I don't remember, that I was very proud of myself that I did not kill it. It was in my apartment, and I picked it up in a paper towel, and I put it outside, and I just felt this joy, overcome me. I was like, as I saw it crawl away, I was like, oh my God, that's a living thing, and I just saved it. I didn't harm it. And what I thought was that would happen for a reason. And so the reason I'm telling you this story is cosmic plan, web. That is a sign, and they've been spiders. Somebody was saying spiders yesterday, or thought they saw them when they were, I don't know. Anyway, they've been coming to me. This is about weaving your own destiny, manifesting your own life. You have the power to change your life. I don't care how old you are watching this video. If you're 70, 80 years old watching this video, you still have the power to let go of all of these traumas, heal yourself, and find joy. Find joy. And when you do that, I can tell you right now, you really don't fear much of anything anymore. I mean, I don't fear death. I don't want to die. I'm not saying that I want to die, but I'm just saying I don't fear death. I don't fear it. Just when you can get out of that uncertainty and questioning every decision you're making and questioning the direction your life is going, when you finally surrender and everything is happening in divine order and the way it's supposed to, and yet also you have the power to co-create and manifest and weave your own destiny, your life changes. So I'm definitely getting a strong message there. And then orbs of light, spirit realm. So I don't know if you can see these green. A lot of people will pick up on those orbs in photos. Sometimes they'll appear over your face, and just pay attention to those types of things. Those are definitely messages. Especially if you're taking videos, you might see them fly. Sometimes they're dust, but you will know the difference. You'll see it. But those are signs that you can look for. And when you start seeing more signs like this, when you start asking for signs and manifesting signs and synchronicities, you open yourself up to the magic of the universe, and you start tapping into that. And when you start tapping into that, again, that's how you just start getting on this path where it's like, oh, there's something else beyond this planet. There's something else beyond all of this. And then again, when you lose that fear and you step into the light, and you start realizing anything is possible. So I'm going to pull one more card for you guys. I'm going to pull from the Energy Oracle. I'm just going to see what message for water signs. Whoa, we had several come out. All right. So, yeah, so we've got Okay, this is amazing, you guys. So this is in line with what I was saying. Some for August, Broken Heart and Storm Warning. Those are not great cards, right? That there could be a tower moment, so to speak, coming with the Nine of Swords coming out, that you might be disappointed. You might be disappointed that things maybe aren't progressing the way they are, or that somebody kind of comes in and out of your life. But what you see here is, look what's here with us. The Angel of Strength, Leo season, the Lion. You cannot make this shit up, guys. You can't. You can't. I couldn't if I tried. Could not make it up if I tried. You have to know to stay strong. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Trust that everything is happening in as it should. Because guess what? Guess what came out after that? Oh my God. Okay. All right. Woman holding a heart. Man holding a coin. These are back to back in the deck. I did shuffle. But that tells me these are sort of like counterparts. Like she's got her heart open. He comes forward with a solid, tangible offer eventually, right? Because that's the path they're on. If you're on this path with this person, and you're seeing this progress, they may come back in. They may not stay, and that's going to be heartbreaking. But that shows you, unfortunately, that there's some codependency, some attachment that you may need to still work on. But what I'm seeing is, for this group that this is resonating with, this is the path. This is the golden path. You two are on the same path, and it's all going to come. I mean, I don't usually give predictions on timing, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of progress quickly, even with this little, ooch in the little blurb in the path. I feel like October, like fall, there's just going to be, I mean, this all almost reminds me of like kind of golden, leaves and stuff. I just feel like it is progressing the way it should. And there is a lot of work going on behind the scenes, even though you may not see it. You just got to trust, and you got to just know that everything is coming together beautifully, and you are a co-creator as well. So it is time to manifest and maybe do a vision board and say your affirmations and do all those things. So I think this is actually a beautiful month ahead, because there's sometimes a breakdown before a breakthrough. I've had that many times on my own journey, and I always come out of it so much stronger, lighter, and it's like, you're thankful for it. So hang in there, have a great August, and I will see you next month.